Hello, my name is Stephen Full. I'm a PhD student advised by Professor Nigam Shah. Today, I'll survey some of our efforts to use starr data to build predictive models. I'll discuss work that I and others in the group have done using starr or its predecessors in two different research directions. The first is to build or evaluate a specific predictive model for a well-defined clinical outcome in patient population, so as to incorporate the model into a clinical intervention. And the second is to conduct methodological research that aims to improve the practice of developing predictive models with electronic health record data. To provide some context into what it is that I'm talking about when I say that we build predictive models, I'll say that generally the idea is to frame the task as one of estimating the probability that some outcome occurs within a fixed time horizon following some index event for a particular patient population. We can then write code to extract the relevant patient cohort and their outcomes retrospectively from a database like starr. We can further use a variety of data elements, including lab results, diagnosis codes, free text and clinical notes, and so on, excuse me, to construct a predictive model to estimate that probability using machine learning. starr has provided our group the opportunity to construct predictive models that are useful because of the clear role of risk prediction in existing clinical workflows or novel ones. For example, we have built machine learning models with starr to estimate the estimation of the risk of atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Such models can plug in existing clinical practice guidelines that recommend the allocation of statin therapy on the basis of estimated risk. Our group has also worked to integrate a model that predicts mortality into a novel care pathway that was developed at Stanford Hospital to prioritize referral to advanced care planning. An advantage of working with data structured in the OMOCOM data model is that we can seamlessly participate in collaborative network studies in the Odyssey community. Here, I've included a few examples of externally derived predictive models that I was personally able to validate on our local population with very little effort due to Odyssey software such as the patient level prediction package. The almost common data model has also been very useful for methodological research in that we can readily conduct and replicate experiments across several OMAP-CDM databases that are available here at Stanford through Research IT, Population Health Sciences, and other groups. For example, we conducted a large-scale empirical study that aimed to characterize the capabilities of approaches to assess and mitigate different forms of algorithmic bias and promote fairness in clinical predictive models. And we were able to readily replicate our experiments across OMAP structured data in starr, the Optum Informatics Datamart, and Mimic3. Our group has also used data from starr to learn generic representations of patient data with large-scale language model-based pre-training from non-specific patient cohorts. In a project led by Ethan Steinberg, we showed that such a procedure is effective at improving predictive model performance for small patient cohorts. Our efforts to build predictive models have also helped improve the quality of the starr data by identifying upstream limitations. In early 2020, we began an effort in collaboration with Lillian Sung at the Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto to build a predictive model to predict sepsis in pediatric patients. We quickly realized that the data elements we needed to drive the cohort were not stored in standard OMAP-CDM concepts, but were rather stored in semi-structured flow sheets that were not easily queryable. However, we realized that of the roughly 24,000 UMAP string identifiers in the flow sheets, we could get reasonable coverage over the whole set by manually screening and mapping only a few hundred to their corresponding OMAP concept IDs. We then provided this mapping to the research IT team, which served as an early prototype for the mapping of the flowsheet elements that currently exist in the data. To conclude, I'd like to acknowledge the Shaw Lab and my funding through the National Graduate Research Fellowship Program. Thanks.